What we do here is go back.
Hello and welcome to the very first official episode of the Lost Media podcast. I feel like I'm on the edge of a building is a commercial that aired in Tasmania, Australia in September 2007 on a pay TV channel, and I've never been able to find it since. It is one of the most obscure things ever. It is an Australian commercial, but I'm guessing that it was dubbed and filmed overseas. And it's like for a cough lozenge or paracetamol brand. And this guy, he feels so woozy and he feels so lightheaded that he's on the edge of a building. It's one of the most ridiculous commercials I've ever seen. And it's been a topic of massive laughter and just confusion in our family ever since we saw it. When we were just sitting in a shitty motel in Tasmania on our little holiday we did. I was like 7 years old back then, or 8 years old. I remember watching the commercial. I know a lot of people are thinking, how the hell do you remember that? You're only like 8 years old. Well, it kept playing over and over and over again. I don't know if any of you guys know those channels where every ad break on a pay TV channel is the exact same commercial. They just keep playing the same set of commercials every time. It's usually like a sporting channel or it's one of those really crap entertainment channels, and they just keep going over and over again with the same lot of commercials. I guess they're getting paid a lot by those sponsors. Yeah, it's one of those really weird ones. I have never been able to find it. To be honest, I've never really looked hard for it. I've never typed up commercials on Foxtel or Ozstar or Optus Vision if that was still running. These are all pay TV and cable networks in Australia, if you guys don't know. And Tasmania, by the way, is actually a part of Australia. I know everyone's used to mainland Australia on a map. It is a part of Australia. It's just a little island underneath. And this is one of those strange commercials. A lot of people would think that in the, thumbnail and the title of this video is relating to someone who maybe jumped off a building. It is not. I'm not talking about something related to that. This is just a very tongue-in-cheek, very bad joke commercial. Like, it's one of those commercials you watch and it's clearly like really hammy acting and, someone's like, oh, I'm feeling woozy and I need this, tablet to fix me up. But this is one of those strange ones. I don't think I'll ever find it. I know I say that about every Lost Media, but this is a very bizarre commercial. By the way, guys, what's playing behind me is commercials that aired, I think I just spat a little, commercials that aired around the same time on Pay TV Australia, maybe a few months in between or within a few months, really, of this commercial airing. And it gives you a gist of what the ads back then were kind of like, and they were all very tongue-in-cheek and all a bit strange. 2007 feels like it wasn't that long ago, but in the world of television, it actually is a very long time ago. And I don't think they do that anymore on television, just the same commercials running over and over again. My memory of this commercial is it's like an overcast day. The dude's like starting to feel a bit lightheaded wherever he is. And then he all of a sudden gets teleported to the top of a building. And he's like, and when I'm feeling like this, I feel like I'm on the edge of a building. And for some reason, I don't understand why, but in the commercial, he's not like, I'm on the edge of a building. I'm on the edge of a building, because he's, starting to fall over it and fall to his death. It's such a bizarre thing. I don't understand whose idea this commercial was. I'd love to see it again, though. I would love to see this commercial again. It is probably forever lost, though. The people who are going to find this are Australian television collectors and people who go through a lot of Australian television. I'm friends with a few people who go through a bunch of television and look at a bunch of commercials and things. And if this aired in every single ad break, just for one broadcast even, I mean, we were only watching television for about 20 minutes and we saw this commercial at least 5 or 6 times. And that's how it's become such a big joke in our family. Every time someone's feeling a bit, lightheaded or something, or feeling a bit crap, we always say, you feel like you're on the edge of a building. We've quoted this about 1,000 times since that holiday. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous, crappy commercial. It's a crappy joke. I mean, I put it forth to you guys. If you can find this, if someone watching can actually find this, I'm going to send this video to a few Australian television collectors and people who go through a lot of Australian television. But I'd be shocked if someone's able to discover this and track it down. I would be very impressed, because this is one of those things where I have put some effort into looking for this. I've looked up Australian television commercials September 2007 or late September 2007, or I've looked up pay TV commercials on Foxtel September 2007. Not a lot of results come up for a specific, date like that, or like late September 2007. Like, all I know is it was, somewhere between the dates of the 20th and the 30th of September 2007. And I've said 2007 a lot of times in the last minute. I think it can be found, but I think you have to be, like I said, Australian, someone who goes through a lot of TV, and someone who gives a shit. Because it's... Do you really need to find a commercial of 2007 if you don't have a connection to this? No. It's because it's been such an in-joke in my family, and because it's been such a stupid thing we've talked about for years, and I'd love to find it. I'd love to see it again. And I'd love to play it to my family. They get such a kick out of watching the commercial again. But at the end of the day, I don't really... No, I do care. I wouldn't be making this video, but I don't really see how other people would want to find it and be interested in it. But if you guys are that interested in lost media, that you want to find a commercial that aired maybe the other side of the world from you, if you're an American watching this, if you want to see some guy at the top of a building going, I'm on the edge of a building, and look like a complete idiot like I just did, by all means, try your best to search. The best ways of trying to find this is contacting Australian television collectors, people who upload promo montages from Australian TV channels. I'll put a few of them in the description. Please don't hound them. I've hounded them a lot recently. Don't annoy the shit out of them with this. I'm already going to contact them. I might not put them in the description, actually, because I don't want to just tell everyone, go to these people and annoy the shit out of them. They definitely need that. But they do a great service. They have found a lot of lost commercials so far. And I'm going to send this to a friend of mine, actually, who collects a lot of Australian TV, and see what he thinks about it. It's cool that I remember watching this commercial. It is very cool that I remember watching this. I think the memory of it, is almost enough. But to see it again would be quite funny. There's been a lot of talk about lost commercials recently in the lost media, fandom and across the internet. I might talk more about other lost commercials that are a bit more popular than this. I definitely want to talk about some topics that are a bit more widespread and, newer lost media and stuff like that. So guys, if you have suggestions, put them in the description. I used to say in this series back in the day, oh no, your suggestions, guys, I can't do that, because I used to be very scripted when I do this, and I'd have to the idea of me doing these videos was list off a bunch of facts about it, list off everything that's about it. It's a podcast format. I do a lot of research for each topic now on this podcast, but I don't feel like I have to list off every single bit of information or 90% of the information on each topic. I'm willing to just discuss how it can be found. That's the whole point of the Lost Media podcast. I'm kind of looking at ways that a show can be discovered, because I've done a lot of digging for lost media recently of trying to find my show that I watched as a kid, the spin-off of that. So I understand, I guess I have a knowledge of ways in which something can be found. Doesn't matter what it is. So please suggest stuff for the podcast in the description. in the comments, in the description. Jeez. And I'll definitely do most of them, I think, because these episodes, I want to do as many podcasts as I can, discussing many ways to find all sorts of different topics of lost media. And like I said in the previous episodes, I'm very fascinated in it. There you go, guys. That's it. That's all it is. It's just a crappy piece of lost media. I'll see you guys next time when I review Pinwheel Clockman Short. No fucking way.
Big gun.